Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nikki here, and a long time no speak. We have had a horrid run of health things happen in this house. My daughter came down with COVID, and the next day I started feeling sick. I got this terrible cold, which I'm still battling a week later, and I've had 3 tests, including a PCR, and no COVID. So I suppose that's a good thing, but I have felt horrid. So there's been no videoing, but what I have been doing is quietly, when I had a little bit of energy, I've been working through the Dear Julie Mayhem Junk Journal Challenge, and I have made all these bits and pieces. But I didn't film any of them. I did it slowly, sporadically, just whatever I could manage with, depending on how bad I felt. So here are all the bits I've made, and in a minute I will show you the journal that I have completed, ready to put as much of this in as I can fit, and I'll be back shortly. So here is the journal I made. There were no rules about how we made the cover or how many signatures or what size, but I did an intro video, my last one that went up, that sort of explained what I was up to here. But as you can see, I have an interesting little closure happening here. We had to, every item that we had to make, had to include 3 elements that we picked out of a hat, so to speak, from the selection we were allowed to use. When I did the draw for this one, I had to use stenciling, so I just tore up a piece of old tablecloth and stenciled on some hearts, and I also had to use a ticket, so I found the tiniest little ticket that I could so that it didn't go over onto my lady and her pretty hat as much as possible, and a doily. I cut a little mini doily and trimmed it up, and then I just used the button as the actual closure, and it just simply unravels like that. And then you open up the journal, and I have made 3 signatures, but the first one was done with a masterboard that we had to create, so that's that one done. This second one is different to a normal signature. This was one of the elements we had to make, and it's called a flip-flop because of the way it opens, and then you have paper inside that flips open. This was such a bulky item, I didn't know how to include it in like a normal signature. So for something different, I actually made this my second signature. And then with some of the other pieces that I've made, especially the bulkier ones, I have room inside here to add one. I've got a pocket here so I can put some pretty things. Just please ignore the shadows. It is the darkest, greyest afternoon here, so we've got some artificial light happening to help us. So I'll try and keep my hand on the other side. But I have a pocket there. I also have room to put something on this. I've kept it blank so far, so one of the pocket arrangements and everything will go there. And if I wanted to, I can even put something there. And of course, even on the back. So this will be a great way to use up quite a bit of this ephemera that I've made. And then the third signature is just a standard issue one. On the back, I have a little pocket ready to tuck things into as well, because my scrapbook paper that I used to create my cover was a bit too long, and instead of cutting it off, I just folded it over and sewed it down. So that is the journal that I will be using. It is not very big. It has a lot of things to fit in it. I don't have to put every single one of them in there, but I'm going to give it a go and see where I get to. But it will require a lot of deliberation. So instead of you sitting here for hours watching me decide what to put where, I will come back again when it's done and we'll do a proper flip through. Well, it's the next day and I have finished filling this up, and I can't believe that I actually got everything in except for I think I left about 3 clusters out, because I actually want to use them for another project. So have a look how perfectly everything fit in. I expected this to be bulging and bursting at the seams, but it actually ended up perfect. So let's have a flip through and I'll show you what's in here. I had to make little dangles for our ties, and I ended up with lace, sticker and flower. So I sort of did the best I could, tried to get a little bit inventive, and I just glued some bits together and made some quite unique little dangles there. Let's open this up. There we go. So on the inside cover, I have a flip up, flip down pocket, which I only attached on two sides so that it's also a tuck spot, so you can fit a few things in there. Both of these pages are Dear Julie printables. I finally noticed my printer is not the happiest. This printed out quite dull. I think it's time for a new printer because this is honestly not doing this lovely artwork justice. But we had to use some 5 sheets of Dear Julie papers, and this was one of the ones I got as part of finishing my March journal. This was part of the freebie that we got, which is absolutely stunning, but I think I'm going to go and take it, the whole kit, and get it professionally printed out until I find a printer that I would like, because this is just, honestly, it doesn't do it justice. It's way too dull. Then we had to do a tab pocket with an insert. In this one I had to use lined journaling paper, doily and flower. I just managed to sort of pop that in there. You sort of almost can't really notice that. This was out of a Daphne's Diary magazine. I actually decided to use up some of the Daphne Diary thing that I've got. I've got so many of them and I love them, but it's time to actually use them. We had to make 4 giant tags. I used my masterboard to make my 4, and that's one of them there. Simply clipped in. This is one of 2 pockets with an insert. Again, these gorgeous hearts were in a Daphne's Diary magazine, so I trimmed them out, added the bits I had to, and then just glued them on the page as a pocket. And I think they make the prettiest pockets. And then I had this fabulous piece of scrapbooking paper. The colour seemed to match beautifully, so I used that. Just added one of the clusters in down there. I'm also amazed at how much writing space is still left in this journal. I can't believe how it turned out. I'm really impressed. This is a hidden paper clip. We didn't have to make inserts for the hidden paper clips, but I think I've got some of my collage board left. I might make some nice little inserts for these using up some of that collage board instead of having it go to waste. And then one of my clusters I just popped on the back there. This is a I thought it had got stuck there. I got a little bit, I wanted to somehow utilize this dress. So we had to do a side tuck, which I have done here. And then this piece of paper was double the width, and I actually glued this on and then fussy cut it out, and I've left it as a little flap there. I just thought that was also in a Daphne's Diary. I just thought it was so pretty and wanted to use it, so used it as the back side of this flip or side tuck. And then of course we had to make an insert for it, so I just sort of created this little journaling card to go in underneath there. And I got very smart. One of the things I had to use was metal, and so I used these pretty pins because they're made of metal, so that worked. I've never made these before. This was interesting. This is a hidden journaling card. So again, I got these lovely papers out of a Daphne's diary, and you basically make an envelope and cut it open and then attach a journaling card to the top bit so it's nicely hidden there. And what I also did, instead of sticking this down, I've hinged it in, but I've glued it down. I know normally you just use washi tape, but I find washi tape gives up after a while and just doesn't stick properly. So I just hinged it down with a little scrap of paper there, and that way it's hidden. It's a flip and a flap. You can journal on there, you can journal on there. That works for me. Here we had to do a large hidden paper clip, a flat one, and I've done 2 little inserts. One of the prompts was, one of the things I had to use was fabric, so I made some fabric tabs to put on all those pieces there. This is another one of those large paper clips. Large tags. We had to do 2 index cards. Now, as you can see, this is considerably smaller than your average index card, but if I had made them full size, they wouldn't have fitted. So I simply cut one in half. And with my game piece that I had to use, I had these jigsaw puzzle pieces, but they were really chunky. So I literally peeled it in half. And then on that rougher side, I just decoupaged on a bit of the serviette that came from where this gorgeous little vase of flowers was. This is on the border of it. So I thought that was a great way to incorporate a game piece without it looking silly. See, lots of writing space. I'm impressed. This has 3 cute journaling cards, all done into one pocket, and I had to use lace, and I think this must have been stickers and stamps I had to use for this one. I think that turned out very pretty. I love that. Then here I have a pocket. This is the insert that we had to make with this flip-flop thing. I've also tucked one of my large tags in there, and I've still got space to put something on there if I want to. Here we had to use book pages to create a double pocket, and so again I've used Daphne's diary for all these lovely cooking bits, and then a stamp set that I have to add these cute stamps, and I just did these rough and ready journaling cards, but I think they turned out really cute. And of course these gorgeous images were in the Daphne's diary, so I've put them to good use, as well as this lovely wooden spoon. Then we had to do a fabric top tab and a tuck with a little insert. I really should have made another one of these to match, I think, for underneath here, and I might still do that. This is actually an envelope which I cut open, so I have a spare pocket there still. See, there's still so much blank space. I'm absolutely amazed. We had to do a dad's, now what are these called? Wage envelope or something. I'm not sure. It's not something that I'm used to hearing about in Australia, but I saw what it looked like, and there was a template, but I had to sort of make my own again because I was doing such a small journal. So I just had a look at the picture and I just cut it madly out myself. And then again, I've used Daphne's diary. This was a book page, even though I used a book page to actually make these 2 bits. But these gorgeous cutouts, gorgeous garden images, and then these cute little tools. Look at that little bucket. That was all from a Daphne's diary again. And I thought that made such a cute little set. I love it. Again, more blank space. We actually do have plenty. I've just put one of the clusters down there. Again, this is a Dear Julie printable. Again, very dull. So I don't know whether my printer is dying. I've never noticed it to be quite this bad, or I've got a bad batch of ink. I don't know. This should look a lot more vibrant, but it's okay. It still suits the theme, and that's fine. It's another one of the hidden paper clips we had to do. And again, I've popped a cluster on the back just to make it look a little bit prettier. Here's the other one of those heart pockets from Daphne's Diary. And then these cute stickers, these houses and shops and things, they were also in a Daphne's Diary. Here's a top tab and an insert. Just used a pretty sparkly paper clip there to hold that one down, and again popped one of the clusters on the back. Here's another hidden journaling card. I love making these. I'm going to make more of these. They're very cool. And again, I've done the same thing. That way, hidden journaling space if you want to write something privately. Another one of my, this must be the fourth of the large tags we had to make. And what I did, I've actually pinned it on to a flap, which I decided I won't. I was actually going to turn that into a pocket by gluing it down. But I thought, hang on, this makes a cool little hidden journaling space that you can use. Here's our waterfall. I had to use, now what did I have to use? Stickers, I think sticker, quote, and metal. So popped a cute little heart charm there on that one. And then I attached it by taking the back piece and gluing it down on the other side and added a cluster. Here's one of my other index file folder doobie thingies. That's the other one with a game piece. And on the reverse side, we had to do 2 guest checks. And I had stamping, stenciling, and what else did I have? Must have been fabric. So what I did, I sort of made out that these were like little purchases of fabric samples. I thought they came up really cute. And then we have a belly band with a giant journaling card inside. Again, I've used napkin. I had to use napkin and use this with, this lace paper was actually quite bright. So what I did, I sprayed some coffee on it, and then I put some napkin down with decoupaged it down. This section here, under here, is also, that's all napkin. Then I stenciled on some gold hearts because this little card had a gold heart. And this was also bright white. I just gave it a quick squirt with coffee to give it a little bit of age. And I'm really happy with how that little set turned out. And that's that. It's all done. And today it is the 31st of May here in Australia. So I have literally got it finished on the deadline, but I'm so glad I did. Now, obviously it's way too late to join in on this month's journaling challenge, but Dear Julie does one every single month. So honestly, sometimes I find it the best way to actually get a journal made, because you know you've only got a month. You just get in there, you get it done, and you're given a list of things you have to make, and it just takes away all that procrastination because, oh, I can't decide what to make and I can't decide what products to use. Just use the lists you're given, have some fun, and a month later, you've got yourself a very pretty journal. So there we are. It's all done. Hope you enjoyed that flip through. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, keep away from nasty colds like the one I'm still battling with a week on, but I definitely feel better today, so I'm very grateful for that. So if you're not already a subscriber, I would love it if you joined the family. I do paper crafting and paper planning videos, and if you enjoyed this flip through, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, just to let YouTube know that this video might be worth sharing with others. So bye for now.